From Vermont Public and the NPR network, this is Brave Little State. I'm Josh Crane. The Vermont rock quarries I know best are the ones that aren't really quarries anymore. They're swimming holes with turquoise blue water surrounded by cool rock walls. Or they're roadside curiosities, little mountains of exposed rock peeking above the trees when you drive by. There's a quarry in Bethel that represents a different kind of story. It's not a relic of the past, it's still alive, but it's also not well known, even for residents of the small central Vermont town where it's located. Increasingly, it feels like a place that's hiding in plain sight, even though the stone it produces is renowned all over the world. Reporter Sabine Pooks has more.
Halfway between Randolph and Bethel, on the other side of the train tracks from the White River, a tributary called Gilead Brook snakes parallel to a road dotted with farmhouses.
Over here, 'cause this is all poison ivy. Yes.
Bennett Law is one of our question askers for this episode, and he lives in one of those farmhouses. He sidesteps down the steep bank toward the brook.
You can see down in the brook, you see the two big pieces of stone that have been cut, clearly cut?
Yep.
That's some of that. Come down here.
Bennett points to two large white rocks that sit like fat toads in the slow, shallow water.
You can see some pieces down there. That's Bethel granite.
Oh, yeah.
You see that?
Sure.
And it's all here along the side.
Bethel granite, also known as Bethel white. This snow-white rock that looks like marble and is quarried, as the crow flies, just a few miles over the hills. You can see the quarry from Interstate 89. It looks almost otherworldly. Great white walls rising out of the earth like a glacier or an ancient palace. The granite here is known to be the whitest granite in the world.
I wanted to ask, how would you describe the way Bethel white granite looks?
It's a beautiful white granite with dark flecks, essentially black flecks throughout it. It's heavy. I know that from having picked some up along the way. It's really
Back in 2011, after Tropical Storm Irene, the company that owns the quarry donated loads of this white granite to be used as riprap to reinforce roads and riverbanks around Vermont. That's why it's sitting here, grand yet inconspicuous, in the brook on Bennett's Road.
There's some really big pieces right down here that you can see.
Oh, yeah.
See how white, how really beautiful it is?
It is really.
You think, wouldn't you like to have that as a countertop instead of here in the brook?
Bethel white granite is used in countertops, to be sure, but it was also used for a monument in downtown Paris, a Smithsonian museum in Washington, D.C., skyscrapers in Manhattan and Abu Dhabi. At one point, this stone was the most expensive commercial granite in the world. Most of us have heard of the granite in Barrie. The Vermont city is literally known as the granite capital of the world. Bethel is like Barrie's fancy, lower-profile cousin. And Bennett wonders why this stone is found here in Bethel, and apparently nowhere else.
For me, the question's really, what's so unique about Bethel? What is so specific to the history of the formation of the land here and everything else that we got this and other people didn't? Or is it just not discovered everywhere else?
I feel like this Bethel white granite is known all over the country and world. But within Bethel, I don't know anyone that is connected to the Bethel white granite.
Owen Daniel McCarter also wrote into Brave Little State with questions about the quarry. And when Owen says he doesn't know anyone connected to Bethel white, that means something, because Owen knows everyone in Bethel. He co-owns Babes, a popular bar in town. His bar is even located on the railroad tracks that used to transport granite out of Vermont.
What do you know about the famous Bethel white granite?
Well, I know that it was used to build the Wisconsin State House because I am from Wisconsin, and one of our regulars at the bar brought me a declaration stating such.
Did that make you proud?
It did, yeah.
It also made him curious, so he asked,
what is the history of the famous Bethel white granite, and are we still mining it?
So before us, two different Bethel residents curious about this unique rock and the seemingly mysterious quarry in Bethel that it comes from. We go mining for answers when we come back.
Support for Brave Little State comes from Marlborough Music, where, for 75 years, musicians of all generations have gathered to collaborate, listen deeply, and share their devotion to chamber music. Join artistic directors Mitsuko Uchida and Jonathan Biss and 80 resident artists for concerts and open rehearsals from July 18th to August 16th. Tickets at marlboroughmusic.org. And Johansen Family Foundation, supporting Preservation Trust's mission to preserve and protect Vermont's architectural heritage. ptvermont.org.
If we're going to tell the story of Bethel white granite from the beginning, we have to reach back into time immemorial. And while we can't hop in a prehistoric time machine, we can talk to geology professor Dave Westerman of Norwich University.
This rock is not at all like any of the granites that make up the Vermont granite world.
Dave is an igneous petrologist, meaning he studies rocks that form from magma, including granite. And he's retired in the way that people who love their jobs are usually retired, which is to say, he isn't really.
I have 2 papers that are in my notebooks, in my head, and in my lab, and in my,
Dave, adorned in what I imagine is the geologist uniform, head-to-toe khaki, meets me in the university's descriptively labeled rock room. It's a laboratory flanked by a loading dock on the school's Northfield campus. The countertops are covered in Greek yogurt containers that, in turn, are filled with samples of rock. Behind Dave, shelves and shelves of more samples.
Yes. Thousands of samples.
Wow. Dave's been studying Bethel white for an upcoming paper, and there are big chunks of it sitting on his bench.
From the quarry?
Yes.
Okay, so you just went and took them?
I went and walked up and talked to the guy and told him what I was doing and that I just needed a dozen samples. He said, sure, help yourself.
Dave explains that there are lots of different granites in Vermont, from Black Mountain granite in Dummerston to Derby gray granite up north. And all this granite basically formed the same way, hundreds of millions of years ago, when tectonic plates collided. Under intense pressure and unfathomably hot temperatures, rocks would sweat off hot magma deep in the earth that over time rose to the crust and cooled as granite. And it's in this process that the differences in these igneous rocks take shape. The color of each granite depends on the mineral makeup of their quote-unquote parent rocks and whether they passed on certain elements that show up as dark or light-colored minerals. The rocks deep underneath Bethel, they didn't pass on the ingredients needed to make dark minerals, like potassium and iron. So the resulting granite appears almost totally light.
The parent was different, and the melting process was different. So that they are unique in that sense.
Over around 400 million years, a perfect concoction of elements and minerals resulted in the almost perfectly white granite we have today. And it just so happened to form underneath a small town in central Vermont.
My shower is made out of Bethel white.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Couldn't resist.
The story of Bethel white granite intersected with human history in the 1800s, when this rock in the ground gave rise to a whole industry. By the end of the 1800s, a decade or so after the Civil War, cities around the U.S. are industrializing. And Vermont granite is having its moment. Companies here are winning contracts for new buildings springing up on the East Coast and in the Midwest. And in 1902, one of those companies opens up a quarry in Bethel. Almost as soon as the first Bethel quarry opens, Bethel white is being used in some pretty big-name projects, like building Union Station in Washington, D.C. It changes Bethel, previously a small agricultural community. There's an influx of Italian immigrants who come to work on the quarry. So many that one Bethel Historical Society book describes not one, but 3 Little Italy neighborhoods. There, the new residents play bocce and hold Sunday evening dances. Quarry workers, who are housed in board houses, sometimes divided by ethnicity, they wake up each morning to a chime whistle from the quarry company. The Great Depression and World War II basically kill the industry for several decades. Some stoneworkers move out of Bethel, and a lot of them suffer from silicosis, a lung disease that has been linked to working with granite. The quarry closes, and for a while, the white hill above Bethel lays quiet. Then, in the late 1950s, a Barrie-based company buys 400 acres there and starts quarrying again. That company, Rock of Ages, still runs the Bethel Granite Quarry today. They've landed some big international jobs. The old New York Times building in Manhattan, a big office building in Shanghai, a Mormon temple in Montreal. But in spite of all of this work, things in Bethel today are pretty quiet. Long gone are the days of the packed board houses and the morning work whistle. Technology has advanced, and fewer workers are needed to operate the machines to get granite out of the earth. For many residents in town, the quarry is just an invisible neighbor. But for others, the granite is still an important force in their lives.
Like, I recognize that stone anywhere.
That's after the break.
Support for Brave Little State comes from Wendell's Furniture in Colchester, with quality furniture at surprisingly low prices, including a selection of sofas starting at under $800 and mattresses under $500. Come see why Wendell's has over 1,000 Google reviews and a 4.9-star rating.
Welcome back to Brave Little State. I'm Sabine Pooks. We've already heard from one newly retired Dave in this story. Here's another.
You could get done the day and look back at what you did and you know you'd accomplished something.
This is Dave Gomo from the town of Orange. He worked at the Bethel Quarry on and off for more than 3 decades.
Have you ever seen, like, your work out in
Oh,
the
yeah.
world?
Yeah, we'll be sitting there. I've seen a couple of airports. You'll be sitting there and you go, hey, that's Bethel White. So, and it might just be a small square or something like that, but it's like, I recognize that stone anywhere. Yeah, it's like, I wonder if I touched that at one time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Dave and I are sitting at a picnic table in Randolph. He's got tattoos running up both forearms and his light blue eyes that match his blue Lebanon Valley Speedway t-shirt. On the day I interview him in June, he's been retired for 1 year and 1 day.
I called it my weight loss program. Now I'm sitting there just getting fat and ugly. Just like before I go out there.
That's what retirement's for.
Well, yeah, but my doctor doesn't think so. But
Dave is a 4th-generation quarryman. His great-grandfather was an electrician for Rock of Ages, the company that owns the Bethel Quarry and a couple others around Vermont. Dave's grandfather worked in a granite shed where they would cut the stone in Barrie and Websterville. In those days, business was really good.
yes, it was very, very good. There's a lot of men that worked there, and it was a booming business. And then my dad, he started working for Rock of Ages because the money was better and everything else. And that was what he raised his family on.
Dave says his dad retired after witnessing a bad accident at the job site. But Dave was still drawn to the prospect of a union job with a good salary and good benefits. So when his kids were little, he quit his job as a mechanic and started working for Rock of Ages at the Bethel Quarry.
At first, I was running a 2-man torch, which was, I call it the fire-breathing dragon. It was a real hard piece of equipment. You had pieces of flake stone would hit you, and they were hot, red hot, because it was cutting stone. My first year was tough. I wanted to quit every day. I hated it. But I stuck it through, and once I got through, it's like, hey, this isn't all that bad. And like I said, I've been there for 38 years when I retired last year, and nobody wanted me to retire. They wanted me to keep staying here. But your bones wear out and stuff like that. It's hard on your body, but it's all doable.
The work was seasonal. Every summer, the quarry whirred back to life with the hum of heavy machinery.
So
What would you do in the off-season?
go ice fishing, go deer hunting, and just go snowmobiling and just enjoying the layoff. I did.
In the summer, the amount of work they'd have at any one time depended on demand. Sometimes they'd work 6 10-hour days at a time. Dave got to know this rock really, really well. He has a bench made of it at home.
When it's good and white, good and clearly white, it's beautiful stone. It really is. It really shines. To me, I like working with it and everything else.
In the time that Dave worked at the quarry, the company that owns it, Rock of Ages, was purchased by Polycor, a quarrying company based out of Quebec City. Just last year, that company closed their visitor center and stopped offering quarry tours, citing safety. And a representative from the company declined my request for a tour and an interview. So it's perhaps no wonder the quarry is so mysterious to some Bethel residents today. In addition to employing a much smaller group on site, they're now run by this corporation that's headquartered in another country and seems to have walked back its public presence. Dave Gomo says he doesn't meet many people who want to work at the quarry anymore. That includes his kids.
I'm the last person in my family with my last name that's working for Rock of Ages, unless my grandkids decide to go there or whatever. Right now it's just...
There's a certain nostalgia in the way Dave talks about his time at the quarry and the sort of brotherhood among the mostly male crew that works there. He pulls out his cell phone to show me all these pictures and videos he took in his last shifts at the quarry. Like this hilarious video of a big truck running over his longtime lunchbox on his very last day.
I turned the volume down because there's some foul language.
Oh. I can handle it. Now that you are a year and 1 day into retirement,
Yep.
What do you miss about the work there?
The guys. Yeah, that's about it. Everybody bumped elbows. We had good times. And we worked hard. Everybody knew everybody else's step. If somebody had a problem at home or whatever, other people would step up and try to make them feel better or whatever and stuff like that. And it was like, we're kind of like a close-knit family. Some of the guys wouldn't tell you that, but...
It's hard to completely give that up. Dave still visits to bring the guys pizza and donuts. One hot, steaming day in July, I join him. We drive up the meandering dirt roads to the quarry, a drive Dave could do with his eyes closed.
Yeah, we used to leave work and stop up here and pick leaks and stuff.
Really?
And we see the gate that marks the quarry's entrance. A hulking piece of granite stands guard at the front entrance, a keep-out message written in orange paint. At 3:30 on the dot, closing time, one of Dave's buddies pulls out.
Happening, young man? What's up, buddy?
30-year-old Hunter Hull of Randolph says he spent the day working in the loader.
I have air conditioning, yeah.
Good.
No, it's great.
Good. How many of you are there working today?
Just today, 3.
3 of you?
Yep.
Small crew?
Usually it's only 3 or 4 of us for Bethel.
Back when we were really we had 7, 8 guys all the time.
I remember when I came down, it was like 10 or 12.
Yeah.
It was when I first started.
Yeah.
This was the first time I came down, was right here. Yeah. The stone sales have gone way down.
But what do they have per footage, what you're supposed to pull out this year?
Only 50,000 again. That's what we got last year.
That's little.
Yeah, and we drag it out through the whole year, so you only need a little crew.
Rock of Ages didn't respond to a question about granite sales in time for the story. But Hunter says he thinks sales are down because buyers are going overseas to get their granite.
COVID seemed to have threw a kibosh into everything, changed everything.
Hunter hopes he'll keep his job. He likes working here. The stable benefits, the stone he's grown fond of. Like Dave, he wants to spend his whole career working here. And there are perks. Behind his truck, he's pulling a trailer full of gleaming white stone.
Yeah, I'm borrowing a little bit.
You're borrowing a little bit.
Donations for working here.
Yeah.
Hunter and Dave have played a small part in the 400 million year history of Bethel white granite. And the future is far from settled. In fact, the plates are still shifting. Remember how supposedly you can only find Bethel white granite in Bethel? Well, back in Norwich University's rock room, Dave Westerman, the retired geology professor, has some new research to share. It's a culmination of a project that's been germinating since his early days on the job in the 80s. And it started when he found some granite in Northfield, 30 miles from Bethel, that looked suspiciously familiar. Pearly white stone with black flecks.
And when I saw that, and I saw samples of the Bethel, I said, these guys are very, very, very similar.
There was actually a small quarry here centuries ago. But even though the Northfield granite bore a resemblance to Bethel white, no one ever proved the relation. And the rock there didn't cut as well, so that quarry became lost to time. Then Dave came along. For years, he's been curious about the connection between these two rocks, a few towns apart. But to prove they're actually related, he'd have to show that the stones are around the same age. So Dave took in his Northfield samples for testing, And turns out, the rocks are just several million years apart in age. In geologic time, that's practically a rounding error.
So the question that this person asked, like, is there Bethel white granite anywhere else?
Yes.
Is it fair to say yes in Northfield?
Yes, for sure. Locally, actually, yes.
Dave is writing up his results in a paper that he hopes will come out next year. It's all about this Northfield granite.
What's significant and exciting to you about your findings?
Well, after 40 years of looking at the rocks, that finally it'll end up getting shared in a way that is quite conclusive. It is enough to make you believe in science.
Thanks for listening to the show, and thanks to Bennett Law and Owen Daniel McCarter of Bethel for the great questions. For more on Bethel's granite history, we've included some suggested reading in our show notes from Vermont historians Paul Wood and Bill Johansen. And if you have questions about the goings-on in your town, ask them at bravelittlestate.org. And make sure you're following us in your favorite podcast app so you don't miss new episodes. If you really want to help us out, give us a 5-star review in Apple Podcasts, like this one from Green Mock. Quote, I grew up in Vermont and have spent most of my life there. Found this podcast about a month ago. I'm going through all the episodes from the beginning. Many episodes bring me back to the state I still truly love. Thank you for that review. This episode was reported by Sabine Pooks, editing and production from the rest of the BLS team. That's Burgess Brown and me, Josh Crane. Our intern is Sarah Bokelberg, and our executive producer is Angela Evansy. Theme music by Ty Gibbons, other music by Blue Dot Sessions. Special thanks to Gail Wiese, Timothy Rath, Laurie Grigg, and Denise Guilmette. Brave Little State is a production of Vermont Public and a proud member of the NPR network.